Hi, my name is Mohammad Nasir Shafi, and these are my group members, Mr. Awais Moin and Sayyid Amin Hussain. The topic we are here to present is Evaluation of Poultry Supply Chain Performance in Sargent Slaughterhouse in Ontario, and we are presenting this project to Dr. The topics we are going to cover in this presentation are Introduction, Evaluation of Halal in Canada, Why, How, What of Supply Chain Management, Halal Supply Chain Model, and the Opportunities. Introduction. So poultry is the most important and interesting food commodity in our society. Even in some regions, poultry is chosen as the main dish. Poultry demand and consumption has been increasing by years. That is why we need to get more attention to this supply chain and its problem to understand. The main aim is to keep fulfilling customers' need in accordance to the quality and the quantity. Besides, halal is also main issue for the poultry product. Halal is mentioned because the Muslim population in Canada is increasing day by day. Nowadays, halal issue needs more attention to give guarantee for the customers while consuming the products. Poultry supply chain generally starts from breeders, distributor, then it will go to the chicken slaughterhouse and to the end user. As you can see in the picture, poultry supply chain has some performance needs to carry out from the beginning to the end. These performances of each step impact the next step. What is halal? It's used to describe anything permissible under Islamic law, in contrast to haram that is forbidden. And this covers aspects such as behavior, speech, dress, conduct, manner, and dietary law. And why it is important? Because with Canada's Muslim community forecasted to triple by 2031 plus growing demand by non-Muslim for halal food, food industry observers predict this to be a bright spot in Canada's meat market. Statistics Canada report that in 2011, about 1 million Muslim Canadians made up 3.2% of Canada's population, making it the fastest growing religion in Canada. According to the Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada, the market value for halal food product in Canada today is estimated to be about $1 billion. For those unaware, halal food are foods that observant Muslims are allowed to eat or drink under Islamic dietary. The criteria specify both what foods are allowed and how the food must be slaughtered and prepared. Halal addresses mostly meat and meat by-product of which a significant portion is poultry. Over 30 federally inspected plants in addition to the provincial plant offer halal slaughter in Canada. Halal products are appealing to non-Muslims too. In many countries, halal products are not seen as a religious product, but as a product of higher quality, with consumption becoming more commonplace among non-Islamic demographics. According to the Canada's Grocer magazine, the concept of halal has extended far beyond a religious choice, also attracting the consumer who are environmentally conscious about health, and the magazine explained that halal is preserved to be more human and ecological way of processing meat, resulting in the perception that product is also of higher quality, safer, and cleaner. In United Kingdom, for example, halal meat makes up 11% of all the meat sales, compared to a UK Muslim population of just 3%. According to the other market research report in Russia, only 25% of halal meat consumers are Muslims. As Canadian retailers seek to cater to the growing demand, halal products are becoming more widely available. At one time, halal food product could only be found in special stores in large urban centers, but this is starting to change. More large retailers such as Loblaw, Metro, and Walmart are starting to carry halal poultry product in selected locations, much in the same way as specialty eggs and organic products were first introduced by a retail chain. Halal poultry products are also slowly growing space in the meat counters. Unlike specialty eggs and organic poultry producer, a recent visit to a Toronto Loblaw Superstore found a selection of fresh halal chicken from whole chicken to skinless and boneless pieces as well as processed products including chicken hot dogs, chicken bacon, and chicken bologna. All were locally processed, all were priced comparably to other specialty chicken lines. All were labeled certified, and halal goes beyond the grocery store. A website search found more than 300 halal restaurants in Toronto and 250 in Montreal alone. These include population fast food chain and even Asian, Portuguese, and Italian cuisines. As I mentioned in the previous slide, that the global interest in halal industry is increasing by every other day. And if you can see from the picture, the Canada's halal market is estimated at 1 billion US dollars. We will talk about the UK. Halal food import was valued at about GDP 18 billion per annum, and we'll talk about China, said to become the net importer of the food product, including halal F&B, by the next decade. And like others, like you can see for Malaysia, Brazil, Thailand, and Japan. Now the case study about the Sargent Slaughterhouse. Sargent Farm, which is Canada's only plant devoted 100% to hand slaughter halal chicken, specializes in the food service trade. According to the Canada's sales manager, Mr. Gary, customers are willing to pay a premium for their traditional hand slaughtered chicken. But it is not who we might think. Gary referred to a recent survey the company has undertaken, saying, I was surprised to learn that it's the younger generation that is most interested in purchasing our hand slaughtered product than the older, more traditional generation, as one might expect. The company is now beginning to supply traditional supermarket chain, and while he wasn't able to confirm a growing demand by non-Muslim that create a doubt, means we are going to face a new challenge, as we need to make sure we fulfill the demand on time. Now the evaluation methods. The performance of the poultry supply chain is measured using the following. The number one is SCORE, Supply Chain Operation Reference. Then SNORM DEBOR. The third one is AHP, that is Analytic Hierarchy Process. And last but not the least, Cause and Effect Diagram. So now what is SCORE? SCORE is a method created by Supply Chain Council in order to provide self-assessment and activities comparison of supply chain performances. There are 5 elements, namely plan, source, make, deliver, and return. There are also customers facing metrics and internal metrics. Customer metrics comprises of responsibility, responsiveness, and flexibility. Meanwhile, internal metrics comprises of cost and asset. So in this we'll talk about the SNOR DEBOR. The result of each measurement indicator normalized by SNOR, which valued from a range of 0 to 100. The process of normalization, that is SNOR DEBOR, employed scale of 0 to 100 to get the values of each matrix with the following formula. The formula 1 and formula 2. The first formula, when the output is more, that means the larger value is better. And the second one, if the value of SNOR is less, that means it's better. The SI equals to average value. S max is equal to the value of achieving the best performance indicator. S minimum is equal to the value of achieving the worst performance indicator. Now, analytical hierarchy process, that is AHP. AHP is one of the multi-criteria decision-making method that was originally developed by Professor Thomas. It is a method to derive ratio scale from paired comparison. The input can be obtained from actual measurements such as price, weight, and etc., or from the subjective opinion such as satisfaction feeling and preference. AHP allows some small inconsistency in the judgment because human is not always consistent. The ratio scales are derived from the principal eigenvector and the consistency index is derived from the principal eigenvalue. The following are the two formulas for AHP. The first one is a consistency index and the second one is consistency ratio. Principal eigenvalue is obtained from the summation of product between each element of eigenvector and sum of the column of reciprocal matrix, that is lambda max. Performance framework. Supply chain in Sargent firm starts from plan, source, make, deliver, and return. Halal is inserted in source, make and deliver. Source contains chicken, and how to do chicken is treated before sent to slaughterhouse. The vaccine and fed are halal. Make contains every single process from slaughtering to deliver. There are three main items, namely process, tool and place. Process should be based on Islamic requirement. Tool has to be clean before and after use. Place has to be clean. Now deliver. Deliver contains temperature while delivering the poultry. Standard temperature is 5 degrees Celsius. There are from score metrics which are reliability, responsiveness, flexibility and cost. Metric reliability contain forecast accuracy, perfect order fulfillment, make item flexibility and customer complaint. Metric responsiveness contain source, lead time and delivery order fulfillment. Metric flexibility contains product cycle time and delivery cycle time. Metric cost contain transportation cost. As shown in the figure, the performance framework has been arranged in accordance to the real conditions. Measured performances. After collecting the data, then data should be validated to the Sargent firm whether data is enough or not. Score will be combined with Snowdeboard to calculate accurately the result. Performance are calculated. First of all is the negative perspective, which means the smaller score, the better result. Now the positive perspective means the bigger score, the better result. Forecast accuracy, supply order fulfillment, item flexibility, delivery order fulfillment, product cycle time and delivery cycle time use, whereas customer complaint source, lead time and transportation cost use. AHP framework. After collecting the data, three worst score in the table will go to the process by AHP. AHP will lead to decide performances which need to give recommendations. AHP results. The three worst score are supply order fulfillment, supply lead time and product cycle time. Measuring by AHP will have to make questionnaire for each person in Sargent firm, and the recommendation will be given by creating cause and effect diagram. Now, cause and effect diagram. Finally, product cycle time is the worst performance when checked with AHP and using cause and effect diagram will give recommendation. The main causes are man, environment, method and material. Interview with Sargent firm will lead to the recommendation from the problem. Now finally, the conclusion. Poultry process has fulfilled halal procedure especially in source, make and deliver processes. AHP measurement based on three worst performances. These are supply order fulfillment, supplier lead time and the product cycle time. Recommendation is given to repair the performance by using cause and effect diagram such as applying working hours on time, chicken order to supplier and also chicken order by customer. Thank you. And finally, we wanted to say, sir,
You're amazing, and we learn a lot from you.